All right, guys, so in this video, I'm going to talk about the most common objections that you can get when you're doing in-person sales, and it's a high-ticket type of sales that you're doing. And these common objections are going to be the ones that you see the most of. But I'll also talk about what you can do when you get these objections and how you can rebuttal these objections and make sure that you're preparing the right way to avoid these objections altogether. Okay, so one of the most common ones that I hear people talk about is that people have an objection with the price. They say price is too high. Now, this goes back into your preparation and how did you set the tone and the expectations of the appointment or the sales call before you actually gave them the price. If you never talked about the price, the budget, the ranges, then yes, this is going to be a shock to your prospect and it's going to come across as something that's too high. You want to make sure before you ever give them the price in numbers that you set the expectation. So if you have product A, B, and C that you're going to present to them, then you want to lay out the ranges that this product is going to fall under. So if it's a product that's going to cost them $10,000 or $20,000, you want to make sure that you give them that range. You definitely want to anchor people at the high number so you can come in at a lower price, and at that point they feel like the price is not too high at all. In fact, it's lower than what you said. Now, if you haven't done the prep, if you haven't talked about the expectations beforehand and the objection comes across that price is too high, you can talk to them about, oh, I totally get it, I understand. What is the price that you had in mind, or what is the budget that you have in mind at this time that would make the price feel like the right one? Now, like I said, if you do the prep right, if you set the expectations right, this question is not going to be coming up that often. But if it does, you can use the rebuttal that I just talked about to help people understand, or to at least get the objections out into the open so you can deal with it as openly and transparently as possible. But make sure you set the expectation right from the beginning, either in the call or before the call when you're doing the pre-appointments. And you can look at our other videos to see what pre-appointment calls that we do to help you set up for the appointment. All right. The number 2 objection that you'll also see is people saying, hey, look, I want to get other quotes. Okay, I've gotten your pricing, but I definitely want to get other quotes as well because I want to compare prices. And I get this objection almost all the time. There's very little that you can do in the prep, although you can ask when you're talking to them on the phone before you've gone out to the appointment, hey, has it been that you've gotten other quotes already? If you haven't done that, this is an objection that you're going to get, especially if your prospect hasn't gotten prices from anybody else before you, okay? They're going to ask about, I need to get other quotes. That's okay. You want to make sure that you put them at ease and put them at comfort. So you want to say something like, I totally get that. In fact, I encourage you to go out there and get other quotes because you're going to be more educated on pricing. But let me ask you something. Is there anything in my proposal, or was there anything in my proposal then that did not check all of your boxes that you're looking to get other quotes from somebody else? Now, what that does, that question helps them understand, or it takes them to a place where they're questioning themselves, trying to ask, what is it that I did not get from here that I want to get somewhere else? And that's going to flush out the objection, the further objection, the real objection that they might have. And it might just be, hey, I haven't gotten other quotes and I want to look at pricing otherwise. At that point, you can also say that I totally get that as well, but do understand that, you know, this is going to take another 2 or 3 hours of your life, very precious time that you have to get another quote. I know that we're not the most expensive and we're not the cheapest. We're right in the middle. And I can tell you that with our service and our product, you're really getting the type of product that, or, you know, the service that you are looking for. That can very well turn them into a customer and have them feel confident enough that you've answered and discussed all of their objections and the issues or concerns that they might have to be able to move forward with you. But those are the things that you can say when somebody asks, hey, what can I do? Or I would like to get other quotes because I'm only seeing yours, okay? The third one that we always get, or that you would get as well, is, hey, I got the price, I'm happy with it, but I definitely need some time to think. And that's okay, and that's very fair. Somebody wants to have that price, they want some time to think. If you're in the business or industry where you're trying to make that sale right in the house, there are things that you can do here. One of them is giving them a cool-off period, okay? In some states In some countries, this is a legal obligation that you have to be able to give them a cool off or a rescission period, which allows them to cancel the contract within 2, 3, 4 business days after they have signed the contract with you. This gives them the peace of mind to say, I can go ahead and sign the contract today, but for whatever reason, if things don't work out, then I'm going to cancel the contract. This, in 80% of the cases, will allow your prospect to make that decision to move forward with you. If you use this very special gem, this cool off period, to your advantage, the time to think, or the rescission period gives them the time to think about that and still have the ability to cancel. Now, I know you're thinking, if I give them the ability to cancel or get out of the contract, then I've just lost that sale. But I can tell you there's something very important here. Most people that have agreed to you or agreed with you for your proposal, for your price, now have to justify themselves to say they made the right decision. And in the time period that you give them to cool off, if you will, they are justifying that decision that they've made with you. And they're trying to make sense of the decision because they want to stay consistent with their action. And their action is that they've signed a deal with you and they want to move forward with you. So they're going to justify in their mind to stay consistent with their action and move forward with the deal that they've made with you. And even if they cancel after a few days, that's okay. You are going to get other people that are going to become your customers, but you made sure when you were in the house that you were able to close that deal by giving them that cool off period. So those are the common objections that we see during our sales. I hope this video helped you kind of understand what you can do when you're going out to people and they have objections. You can use these and let us know how it works out.